Hey, good morning and welcome on in. We've got an awesome show for you today. Kelly Collis is here. I want to talk about moving to West Virginia. They're trying to make it financially exciting to do so.
Well, sometimes you have to, but it is, our neighboring state. We're also going to talk about. I saw this on the internet, Tommy, and I know you love Easter eggs. I know you love it when Taylor Swift plays little games with you, and I didn't realize this was a thing because I don't have one. But Tesla is known for having Easter eggs, and there's one that's been trending recently that is got a little sense of humor. It's a little cheeky, if you will.
Plus, you are a 12-year-old boy, so this is hilarious to you.
Yes, it is. I love it.
Also, Hamilton is coming back to DC. Woo! There's a catch. We'll let you know all about that. And do you want to go ahead and do the honors of the last one, Kel?
The toilet paper?
Mm-hmm.
We have some breaking news about the shortage. Just check your stock and we'll tell you all about it.
Live from DC. Broadcasting around the Beltway and beyond, it's Tommy and Kelly made in DC on the Real Fun DC channel and on demand anytime, anywhere you get your podcasts.
So yesterday, the Kennedy Center, which is such a staple of DC and normalcy and the arts and people gathering at a theater to see things and have a shared experience because people could be together, they announced that Hamilton is coming back. As a matter of fact, they announced their 2021 Karma 2022 season. And this is awesome, though, because we're thinking about a little bit of like getting back together. But the Kennedy Center for their 50th anniversary is ready to bring the shows. So excited.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So Hamilton coming, that's awesome. But I wonder because Hamilton came out during the pandemic on TV.
Mm-hmm.
People that didn't get to go see it on Broadway or when they went on tour got to see it in their own home. Will it have that still like, I got to get Hamilton tickets? Or will it be a little like, is it another generation, right? It's been let's see, it came out in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So you're almost looking at a whole nother generation of young people that are learning about American history that are going to get involved. I don't know.
I didn't even think about that because, right, you can get it on one of the streaming channels.
Yeah, remember it came out like right in the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, it's like Apple or one of them. You can get it on one of them. Just ask your remote or your watch or someone will tell you where to find it.
Right.
But that is really true because they're banking on a 12-week run that's going to happen. Also, Mean Girls is coming. They're going to do Oklahoma and Dear Evan Hansen and Blue Man Group and The Band's Visit and all of these awesome shows are coming for the 2021-2022 season. The Temptations, you can see that. Hamilton is going to be here on July 2022.
Wow.
And I was like, that's really far away. But that is kind of how far away they announced Hamilton was coming last time Hamilton was coming too. Remember they did that like 2 years in advance?
Yeah. Well, I guess, and the tour, the Hamilton travels all over the country. So it's going to Philadelphia and Chicago and all these other places. So they have to book that out. So, but that's great. You know what? I'll take the announcement. That's a sign of things kind of returning to normal. Who knows what that's going to look like in 2022? Yep.
Well, they're hoping it's going to be a full opera house, which is like, according to Washingtonian, it's 2,364 people in the opera house.
Okay.
And then the Eisenhower Theater is 1,164. So they've announced this also so far in advance, to give hope for like people doing things in the future, but also they're doing their like, if you get a subscription, you can get tickets.
Of course.
So they're making that happen. Jonathan said it is on Disney Plus is where he's been watching Hamilton 20 plus times. So thanks for the comment, Jonathan. Hit us back. Would you go see it in person now that you've seen it 20 plus times on Disney Plus, or are you just like, whatever? Also, Corey, thank you. Corey, Hamilton is on Disney Plus. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's where it is.
My daughter, when she was young, she was obsessed with Hamilton. She read all the books and knew all the ththings and knew the soundtrack before. We were lucky enough to go see it up in New York City. We did see it again when it was at the Kennedy Center. I will have to get an indicator from her now being a grumpy teenager at 15 if she would like to go see it in person. Who knows? It could be that she wants to, or it could be she hates it now. I don't know.
You could just, it depends on the day too, right?
Right. Yes.
Between now and 2022 July, it could change a couple times in that period.
For sure.
Well, Kelly, you should just always remind her of the time she met Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I should. When she was at the height of it, and she was very into it and very cute and would listen to everything that I said. She did get a chance to go on the red carpet with me when he came through DC.
So why did you choose Hamilton to write the play on?
It's all his fault. He chose me. The reality is, I read Ron Chernow's book over there, and it was an incredible book. By the end of the second chapter, I was like, how has this guy's life not been made into a musical? It's incredible. From there on in, I just started writing.
And if you could take away one character and add one character, who would it be?
That is a great question, and no one has ever asked me that before. So you mean take one person out of the show and put one person in? I would... Ooh, it's hard to think of who to take out. I'd take out Charles Lee, because he was a poopy general. I'd take out Charles Lee, and I'd put in Baron Steuben. Actually, it's pronounced Steuben, I think. And he was this guy who was in charge of teaching the army how to be an army. He taught them how to march in a line. And he's a really interesting character, so I would have thrown him in if I had time.
Okay. And do you have a reason for why you cut your hair after you left Hamilton?
Yes, I grew my hair to play Hamilton. I don't really like having long hair. I would always wake up with it in my face. And it was hot out. It was summer. So I cut it all off.
My favorite part, she's adorable in that. My favorite part is the PR person coming unstitched. Because if
I was just thinking that
there's a red carpet protocol or written rules that basically the stars are to, kind of start at the top of the red carpet and work their way down. And there is a ranking order. Me being on a morning show and radio, I was kind of low on the list, but I had the cute kid waiting at the end. So he bypassed all the other media and went straight to my daughter. And the PR person is like, and she's kind of taking a lot of his time. So she's trying to fish him away.
All right. Actually, now that you brought this up, let's go right to it.
Why did you choose Hamilton to write the play on?
There's the moment here where
you see her in the black
PR
dress.
person come out of the black dress. Yeah, if you're watching the video feed, she's talking and she's like, "Excuse me."
And you can
you
can kind of hear the media freak out, being like, "Was he going to come over here?" Because he's bypassed all the ones with the camera crew.
I had not. We've watched this clip 700 times since then. I had not noticed the PR person
Yeah, she's trying to come over, and because I was running the camera for my daughter, and so I was seeing it. I knew exactly what was happening, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let this happen.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. And do you have a reason for why you cut your hair after you left Hamilton?
Yes, I grew my hair to play Hamilton.
She gives the little arm. She's like, I'm trying. I'm trying. You kid.
I know. Cute kid. She had her hair all done. She put on her nicest dress. And
Kelly, I'm going to watch this video 900 more times today. Look at it. She looks all distressed in the back. She's like, I don't know what to do. The kid's cute. He's in charge. His hair's short now. I don't know.
He seems to be enjoying himself. He's engaged.
She's telling them, calm down. That person with the TOP microphone is very tense. You can see his knuckles. And there's another lady with the camera who's like, look how cute this kid is, but move it along, kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, and to go back to the Kennedy Center. So when Hamilton did come through last time, geez, I don't even know. What was it? 2018? Lin-Manuel went to a couple of the performances and did talk with fans and signed autographs. So I hope that he has not become jaded because he's now, so big, but he still had a lot of pride in his work and made time to, hang out with some of his fans.
Do you think he'll come in for it? I mean, I don't think he'll be playing Hamilton.
Oh no, he didn't play him, but he just would exit the stage door.
Oh yeah,
right. And so I know he was there when I went, and he did it a couple other times all around the country. So it's kind of neat.
That is a thing when, especially with DC theater, the people who the stars who are associated really kind of care about DC. I feel like. Tina Fey did that when Mean Girls came to town at National Theater. It was their previews, but she was here for 5 weeks. And just every night was hi, it's me again. At the end of the stage. So you love to see that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Speaking of Mean Girls is part of it too. The Kennedy Center's got a lot going on. So it's also just really great that they're just saying that We're going to do some things that are fun and normal in just a little bit.
I like to hear that.
Also, another good sign that we're getting through this whole thing, besides people getting vaccinated, toilet paper sales have plummeted.
So there's two things that are going on. One, because so many people hoarded it, people have plenty of toilet paper. And the other is that production has gone up.
Oh.
So the stats were, this is according to the Wall Street Journal, toilet paper sales are down in February 14% and in March 33%. And I know I personally have not purchased toilet paper in I don't know when, because when I got my hands on it, there was a rule at one point with our neighbors that are basically a commune. Like when you see toilet paper in the store, just buy it. We'll distribute it evenly throughout our little commune here. And then to the point where like we had my daughter called it prison grade. We had toilet paper that I had just pulled out. And she's like, what is the deal with the prison grade toilet paper? Because that was all I could get my hands on. It was like very rough. So anyway.
Also, those monsters who bought like 78 family packs of toilet paper, you haven't used it yet, have you? No, you haven't. You monsters.
Know. I'm one of those monsters.
But at least you gave it to your neighbors. Like there were people who like walking out of Costco with like carts full of toilet paper. And I was like, how much do you plan on pooping? Stop it.
The other thing is, Tommy, I was going through, I don't know if that you have this, but like we stocked up on like dried milk and ramen noodles and we still haven't hit that stockpile. Is there anything that like you stock by? You're like, I'm going to need this because it's now been a year. Things are available. No.
You know what? I did get in the beginning of everything. I got paper towels, but not rolls of paper towels. Like the paper towels that come out of a dispenser in like a restaurant bathroom.
Oh yeah.
So I've got like a case of those, but I have no dispenser.
Yeah, those are kind of awkward to unravel.
Totally, they're like in bricks, and so I'll just like put a couple on the counter from time to time. But I also haven't like invested in a dispenser because like I'm not a cafe, so I'm going to be using those paper towels for quite some time.
Wait, you stumbled upon them somewhere and you thought you hit the jackpot?
Basically, yeah. Because it was in like I think it was in like a Walmart or like a Target where everyone had bought the rolls, but no one looked at the brown box that said like paper towels on it because they were just looking for rolls, and I was like, haha, get in the cart. Here we go. I've also got a bunch of hand sanitizer too that we were like giving away and using for promotions and stuff like that. And so we had like a bottle here and a bottle there, and I'd given a bunch to neighbors, but at the same time, like I've got a couple bottles of it left, like the vodka bottles of it left.
Yep, us too.
So I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the next one.
I know. I feel like when I move out of this house, if I ever move out of this house when I retire, I'm going to have a conversation with somebody like, why do you have so many bottles of like rubbing alcohol and hand sanitizer? Because I literally have enough for decades.
If you know, you know, people.
Right. Once you see that.
Go ahead, child.
All right. I don't have one of these, but I think this is really cool. Mm-hmm. So Tesla cars, they've got, I don't even think I've ever been in one. I've seen them from afar. I've never really been inside of one. They have all sorts of buttons and controls and voice activation things that you can do in the car. And there's one that's, I guess that they've got several of them and it's been a thing for a long time, but there's one that's kind of been trending recently. And I think it's in some of their newer models. If you say open butthole, it opens up the charging station. And we have an example, though, because some models don't open the charging station. Some models open something else.
Open butthole.
So that was the glove compartment in that case. Now
you're a child.
Wait, it gets even better. It also responds to open bunghole in a throwback to Beavis and Butthead.
Oh my
gosh. And I got one more.
Yeah.
There's a feature where you can put it in fart mode where it will,
come on.
It will turn up the volume a couple so you can, without anyone hearing.
Oh, it doesn't make a fart sound.
No.
That's hilarious.
See, it's actually useful things. But I
Who
guess
knew
there's
that Elon Musk's company had a 12-year-old boy sense of humor?
well, I guess there's all sorts of there's throwbacks to James Bond and Back to the Future and Rick and Morty. Like there's a bunch of other, and I guess it's one of those things. Like if you have one, you kind of know about it.
And there's a ton of updates too. My friend Heather has one. I haven't been in it yet, but she loves her Tesla and she keeps talking about it all the time. And she's like, "Yeah, like you think of the car as like a computer, and it sends like software updates." And I'm like, "Yeah, in like a Jetsons world, that makes sense." But I'm not quite there yet. Like I'm not ready for like
Yeah,
my car to be able to be updated whenever it wants to be.
I know it's kind of crazy,
And
but
then
very
if you
cool.
watch Big Sky on ABC, there's a Tesla scene, and if you know, you know.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't. If you haven't watched Big Sky yet, not an ad, but it could be great show.
Oh,
But it involves a priest and a Tesla, and there's a lot going on.
okay.
So
Way to sell it, Tommy. A priest and a Tesla.
I'm just saying is
Sounds
all.
sounds compelling.
Just saying is all. He's not obeying the speed limit.
Okay, is he obeying his vows to God?
Yes, actually, yes. I
Okay,
didn't think about that. Yeah,
okay.
but not a lot of people in that show are. So you can check it
Okay.
out. Not an ad, but it could be. The priest does not though use this command.
Open butthole.
Jonathan's with you. He says I'm dying here. So he also has the 14-year-old boy sensibility.
I just think it's creative and fun, and we all could open butthole. I mean, that's a great.
So the state of West Virginia will pay you $12,000 to move to West Virginia.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Mm-hmm. Here's a map in case you don't know where West Virginia is. That's what it looks like. I found it in our fun graphics folder. So the guy who used to be the CEO of Intuit, Brad B. Smith, is from West Virginia. And he has donated $25 million to an endowment fund that would incentivize people to move to West Virginia, remote workers. So they want people who are like able to work remote now, and they're people who are able to enjoy West Virginia. And if you live for 2 years in Morgantown, West Virginia, my cousin Meredith actually went to college there, and she said it was very livable. They'll give you $12,000.
Well, I mean, it is wild and wonderful.
Yeah, $10K over the first year, and then the remaining $2K when you finish the second year there.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so I don't know what 25 million divided by 12,000 is, but that's a lot of people that they're trying to get to Morgantown, West Virginia.
I mean, there's lots of space there. More and more people are, looking for that. Paige, our girl Paige, who's from West Virginia, wants to school you. Morgantown's where West Virginia University is.
True story.
And she says, "My people."
There you go. You do have to be aware, though, of Mothman in West Virginia. That is the mythical creature that is half moth, half man, and he is a bad dude. So be careful about that.
Yes,
Paige said it as well. Paige has taught me all about Mothman. Paige would be our West Virginia bureau chief. I was going to have her in on the segment today, but she's not feeling super great after her second Fauci ouchie. Her words, not mine. But she'll be back and she'll be at it soon. So there you go. You can move on to West Virginia for $12,000 a head.
What a bargain.
Actually, I do wonder if it's per person or if I think it's per teleworker. So there you go. But fun fact, other states and jurisdictions have offered this whole situation too. According to DCist, Vermont once had a grant for $10,000 for remote workers. Northwest Arkansas, which I hear is lovely this time of year, offered one as well. Savannah, Georgia, Tucson, Arizona, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Even Hawaii had a program that provided perks and other assets for remote workers to make their way out there. So look at that. West Virginia, Morgantown, West Virginia, also according to DCist, is 41% cheaper than DC.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
No.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't imagine. But if you have like a remote job and your pay is not changing and you move to like, that's something people are like thinking about doing, right? Like,
I know. A lot of people are making life decisions during this pandemic that affect everything.
Yep. A couple that Chris and I know, they moved out there with their son, or they have a place there now, but they got like a little like cabin, and it looks both wild and wonderful. And they've been spending a lot of time out there. And I was like, maybe they know something we don't.
Very cool.
West Virginia, man, making it happen. But before you do make that move, you should Google Mothman. I'm just saying. Cost benefit analysis, just so you have a full picture getting in there.
It's like their Bigfoot.
It is like their Bigfoot, but he's a little bit more angry.
Yeah.
Than Bigfoot.
Yes.
Bigfoot is just kind of like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Now you see me, now you don't. Mothman's like, I'm coming for you.
That's true.
We'll be right back.